to this episode of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and now podcasting. And today on Hank's Corner, we go back across the pond, and my special guest today is Roisin O'Hagan. Roisin, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. And like I said, I know you're a UK artist. You're based over there, but where are you actually calling in from today?
So I'm somewhere at the bottom of Scotland right now. I'm not entirely sure. Been doing a bit of a road trip from the south of England to Scotland over the last day or so, and just going, just seeing where we end up. So yeah, we've got a heat wave here at the moment. Just traveling about, enjoying it.
Okay. And I understand heat waves completely because here in the south of the United States, we are having pretty warm weather. In Florida, it's always pretty warm. And where I'm originally from in Texas, my mother is over there saying that it's over 100 and some degrees with the heat index. So we understand the heat completely well. But speaking about the United States, you were just recently over here, correct?
I spent quite a lot of April in the States. So I was in Nashville and in Arizona and had a really amazing time. So yeah, I definitely understand the heat there a little bit as well. We're just not used to it, Brits. We just can't handle it.
Yeah, and the one time that I was actually over in the UK and did Ireland as well, it was in August time, and it was pleasant. So I can see how that even in April it might be a little hot for you here in the United States. But what were you doing over here?
So I spent a solid about 10 days in Nashville writing and recording. Had a really busy, productive time. It was amazing. I was writing with artists on like Music Row and in different publishing houses, and I was in lots of studios. So I was recording for my upcoming EP that I've been releasing singles from, and spending the time with the Nashville musicians that have been playing on it. I also recorded some vocals in Blackbird Studios, which is one of the like legendary studios over there. And yeah, it was just great. I was tired, but like a good tired when you've been really productive.
Yeah, so it was basically a work trip for you. Was this the first time that you had been to Nashville?
So it was the second time going to Nashville, but the first, I guess, like you say, work trip there. So I'd been briefly in 2019 as more of a holiday, and like saw Broadway, did all the like touristy things. Whereas this time, didn't really do much of that. And as I said, was just meeting a lot of people, writing, recording. Um, I drove in from Atlanta the day before into Nashville, and pretty much got into Nashville after this long drive, like late afternoon, went straight into a pre-production session and didn't stop from there pretty much until I left Nashville.
Yeah, so definitely very busy, and hopefully you get to make it back soon again, and maybe you can do a half work trip, half touristy thing again. But you were also out there in Arizona. Now that's hot out in Arizona. So what were you doing out there?
I went along with a friend actually, and because why not as well? And they had a home there, and just went along and did some photo shoots and artwork for the singles, I suppose. Because if I don't know, you've been following the singles I've been releasing. So Sunset Valley and Road from Nevada both have a big kind of desert theme. Obviously, Nevada and Sunset Valley looks like it should be somewhere like Arizona. So I was getting loads of artwork done for those, and yeah, it was just to see the world a bit more, I suppose. It's very, very different to here. So I had an amazing time, and I just want to go back and explore more of it already.
Yeah, Arizona is different than a lot of places. I mean, even here in Florida, we got a lot of beaches and it's warm, but there it's just completely dry. And, like you said, with your artwork, you could see the cactus in the background and all that good stuff. But as a photographer, I like to promote other photographers. So who did your artwork out there?
So it was a funny story, really. These sort of things happened to me just by getting talking to people. We walked into an art shop in a place called Cave Creek in Arizona. I don't know if you know of it. But we just walked in, we just liked the artwork that was hanging up outside, and got talking to the artist in there, and he was called Miguel Camarena, and got chatting to him about music and what I do and what he does, and was saying like, oh, I want to do a couple of photo shoots while I'm out here too. Do you know any photographers? And he's like, me, I'm a photographer. And from there, I got chatting to him and his son. His son's also a musician, met him as well and spent some time with him. So yeah, Miguel Camarena and his son, the whole kind of family just mucked together and took us out into different areas of Cave Creek a couple of afternoons, and yeah, did all the artwork for me. It's really cool.
All right, Miguel. Well, thanks for helping out over there. And we're going to go ahead and play Sunset Valley, which is the first song that came out back in April. We'll play the video for that. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the video.
Awesome.
Well, joy's in my headlights, and I'm thinking to myself right now just how damn easy it would be to run this kid right to the ground. I know it's been a while now, 20-something in your vintage jeans, and I knew you'd leave me. Should've ran, but I didn't know how. But I believe in you sincerely, because you taught me so. You said you never leave in Sunset Valley, but darling, we both know you'll start a fight in the middle of the night, and you'll lose your way, and you might just drive till you find some place so much brighter than Sunset Valley. And I know it hurts right now, but you'll fade away in a dust cloud haze till you find yourself in your glory days. But your life could have been so much better in Sunset Valley. And so if you need me, I'll be the only one left standing while they're dimming the lights. I'll be here waiting right here. One day you're gonna be mine. The best things are gonna take time. Well, joy's on my mind now. Wanna hate him, but know damn well that it's 5 years and counting since I was buried in his arms, screaming, put me down now, or you'll go straight to hell. And you're running out of nearly maybes, and never let you goes. You said you never leave in Sunset Valley, but darling, we both know that you'll start a fight in the middle of the night, and you'll lose your way, and you might just drive till you find some place so much brighter than Sunset Valley. And I know it hurts right now, but you'll fade away in a dust cloud haze till you find someone, and you might just stay. But your life could have been so much better in Sunset Valley. And so when you need me, I'll be here waiting right here. One day you're gonna be mine. The best things are gonna take time. The best things are gonna take time. And I knew you'd leave me, then you find me back here in the sunshine. The best things are gonna take time.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and you just heard Sunset Valley by Roisin O'Hagan. So that's a pretty interesting video. Tell me a little bit about it. Also, like I said, I love promoting videographers, so tell me about the videographer and how the whole concept came about for that video.
Yeah, so this song was the first song from this upcoming EP, this kind of project I've been working on. And it was meant to be sort of like a fairy tale, made up-ish story, but based in my real life values and experiences, I suppose, of like finding love and then finding love again later on in life and things. And so I knew that storyboarding this song, it was going to be a lot of like acting that out, and it's pretty much me the whole video acting other than someone's hand at the end of the video. And I got to work really closely with the guy directing and filming it. His name's Chris Croft. He has a company called Croftwork Films in Manchester. It was all shot in Manchester with him on in a few different locations. including a really nice apartment in Manchester, a recording studio, a record store. We storyboarded it together for ages and then shot it over a couple of days and worked with a team called Victors. They're a startup company / website for artists that they work with artists to put their music videos onto a platform where you can kind of like tag products and locations and things in the video. It's really cool. It's a new startup thing, and it was kind of in partnership with them as well.
Okay. And how do you feel about videos, like acting in them and performing in it? Are you comfortable doing that, or is that something that's going to take a little bit more time to get used to?
You know what? You just have to do it. You have to throw yourself into it and enjoy it. And I had a really good time doing it. And if you're with people that just go, you know what, don't think about what you look like, just do it, and they encourage you, then it's a good time. And I think it turned out really well. And like I said, it is a bit daunting at first when it is just you doing that, and I'm not an actor, but you just put yourself into the song and what it means to you and have a bit of fun with it. Like I was doing silly things like throwing shoes across the room and stuff and pretending to smash plates, and yeah, it was a laugh.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy doing music videos. Now, you recently just celebrated your 24th birthday, so happy birthday on that. But I know you've been performing since you were about like 12 years old. So tell me, how did you get start performing, and what is a 12-year-old singing back then?
I just always loved music growing up and was played a lot of really great music growing up by my parents. So they played me a lot of Bruce Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty, Sheryl Crow, all like just really great, mainly American pop rock, as well as a lot of British folk Americana as well. And I think it was inevitable that I was going to become really, really interested in it after being played stuff like that. And my mum's a good singer. My dad's really into like writing lyrics and playing bits of guitar and putting songs together too. They've done it for fun for quite a while with a couple of friends, and because of that I got to go and sit in recording sessions with them when I was quite young, kind of like 10, 11 years old. And when I was about 11, 12 years old, I discovered Taylor Swift and her first 2 albums, and pretty much just wanted to understand how I could do what she was doing and create something that makes you feel the way her songs made me feel at 12 years old. So yeah, around 12 years old as well, I picked up a guitar because we've always had lots lying around our house because my dad, and asked him to show me 3 chords and wrote my first song on guitar that day, and pretty much didn't stop and started playing open mics, local showcases, got to know my local scene and carried on from there.
Yeah, it's amazing how many artists that Taylor Swift has inspired. So, not only has she, put out a lot of great music over the years and done really well, but just think about all the people that have come from being inspired for her. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and play another song that you recently had out. It's your most recent one as of right now. It's called "Road from Nevada," and when we'll come back, we'll talk a little bit more.
Dreamed of New York, of being 21, and one day I felt the highest highs, of barely 5'5". Remember dancing in the dark, Sunday nights in London town. I was born to run and screaming, I'm on fire. All my cynics, they might call me starry-eyed, but if all my heroes learn to fly, then why can't I? Wanna be someone, wanna live like it won't last long, wanna see the world and fall from higher heights. Wanna be someone, wanna love like it's the last one, wanna see the roads aligning in starlight. Step into the light. It's the moment between fight or flight. It's the fire in the dark, the spark ignites. But the road from Nevada took me straight to California. Crossed the canyons, took the highway. Now I'm free. See the shadows of the friends who made me cry. But if all my heroes learn to fly, then so will I. Wanna be someone, wanna live like it won't last long. Wanna see the world and fall from higher heights. Wanna be someone, wanna love like it's the last one. Wanna see the roads aligning in starlight. Know the days gone by look better in hindsight. But if all my heroes learn to fly, then why can't But the road from Nevada took me straight to California. Guess the highway never warned you about me. Know the days gone by look better in hindsight. But if all my heroes learn to fly, then why can't I? Wanna be someone, wanna live like it won't last long. Wanna see the world and fall from higher heights. Wanna be someone, wanna love like it's the last one. Wanna see the roads aligning in starlight. Know the days gone by look better in hindsight. But if all my heroes learn to fly, then why can't I? Know the days gone by look better in hindsight. But all my heroes learn to fly, and so will I.
And you just heard Road from Nevada. That is the second release for Roisin O'Hagan here on Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. Thank you for tuning in. And so tell me a little bit about that song. What's the backstory on there?
So Road from Nevada, I started writing probably about 8-9 months ago, and when I start some songs, it's kind of like a subconscious thing where lyrics just start to flow, or a topic starts to flow that I need to write about or want to write about and haven't premeditated it. And so I started writing this verse and filling in the lyrics with all these references to places and music and artists that inspire me and have like formed a lot of my experiences, like growing up from like a teenager as into an early 20-year-old. And those included things like being in New York on my 21st birthday and how inspirational a place I find New York. Bruce Springsteen songs. So the first verse name drops about 3 Bruce Springsteen songs, and then the Tom Petty line from Learning to Fly. If all my heroes learn to fly, then why can't I? And yeah, I just sat with this verse for a while, and then picked up the song again a few months later and realized that was what it was about. The things that inspired me in that time period of being like a teenager to 24 years old, and the life experiences I have had so far, and what has really like made me into who I am, and just went from there really. It became a really special song to me in that way.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool song, and I can kind of get that how you came across that. And so, is that how normally you write your songs? You just kind of get a thing, you come back to it, or just sometimes it just kind of flows out, and there you go, you got a song in half an hour, or do you collaborate with people?
So most of my songwriting has been up to the last maybe year, just writing mainly on my own, in that way of being like sat playing guitar and something comes up that I really want to write about, like that has been subconsciously brewing, I suppose. In the last year or so, though, I have started to collaborate a bit more. I've been co-writing, like I said, in Nashville, and being a bit more deliberate. Like I will never stop the side of me that does sit by herself with a guitar and just write what I feel, but I'm also trying to really hard to just develop as a songwriter and think before I write as well. And it's very rewarding working that out as a craft and being able to sit with other people who can draw out what you want for yourself in a song as well. The right co-writers will do that for you really well. So I was really lucky. I had a few really good co-writes when I was in Nashville, including one with a lady called Logan Murrell at Riser Publishing on Music Row. And bless her, she was like 9 months pregnant, sat in this room with me, and we just met. We spoke for 20 minutes and really related to each other on a lot of things in life. She started playing some chords, and automatically I started singing a bit of a verse with a few lyric ideas, and I was like, I know what this is about, and the song just fell out of us in an hour or so. And I think that's something that really clicked for me, that co-writing can do that for you, and the right person will draw out of you what is right for you as an artist in a way that you couldn't have sat there and done it on the spot yourself, maybe.
Yeah, and I always find that amazing how that does happen, because I'm not, I listen to music, but I don't know how to make music, and just to see how things, see, like you said, one starts this, one comes in with that, and maybe another one, and all of a sudden there you go, and it's a great meeting of the minds. Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Um, I think it depends what I count as the first song, because I was definitely like trying to make up bits of songs and like memorize little melodies and write down lyrics before I could play guitar or anything. So maybe when I was even like 10, 11 years old, I think I was probably doing that. I had singing lessons when I was at first in secondary school here as well. When I was about 11 as well, where I wrote a bit of a song. I remember I called it Ashes, and my singing teacher played a bit of piano over the top of it. So I guess that was probably the first fully formed one. And then the first song I wrote totally alone with my own accompaniment was the song I mentioned that I wrote after my dad showed me my first few chords on guitar, and that was a song called Two, which I do actually visit again sometimes because it's really sweet. I was just dying to write properly and put chords behind my music at that point, and yeah, it was really nice to look back at every now and then.
And would you ever put that song out? Maybe not as actually out as a single, but maybe on social media, just kind of playing it. Would you ever do something like that, or is it one of those things where, yeah, it was nice when I was doing it, but I've grown so much since then. I'm not going to put it out there.
You know what? It is out there in a couple of places if people hunt.
So I guess I'm going to have to hunt and search for that video then, since it's out there somewhere. But from your first song to today, you have something that's coming out this Friday. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my third single from this upcoming EP is out this Friday 15th. It's called Wild and Free, and it's probably the most kind of like upbeat, fun sort of song yet out of this set of songs. It's really good fun, and it's all about finding new love and things off the back of two singles that have been kind of like losing love and the finding yourself and stuff. It's good fun.
All right, and we're going to give the audience a treat, and we're going to go ahead and play Wild and Free here on Hank's Corner.
Until the sunrise, thought about it all night on a green sofa for piercing eyes. Full trust, 'cause they don't know about us. I can keep a secret if you promise that you're on my side. Could call it hearsay to know I think about you always. We've been playing hide and seek, so close your eyes and just believe. They could call it risky, but they only like it when
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and you just got a special treat, the new upcoming release, Wild and Free by Roisin O'Hagan. And so for this last part, I just want to get to know a little bit more about the personal fun side of you. So tell me a little bit about as far as like your playlist, your music playlist. So your songs are now on my playlist. What are you currently listening to?
Oh, I kind of get set on certain artists at one time rather than flicking through loads. So I'm on repeat at the moment. I've got Morgan Wade and her album, Reckless. I don't know if you know of Morgan Wade.
Oh yeah.
She's really cool. I'm always listening to a lot of like Tom Petty, Sheryl Crow, Counting Crows. Always playing Taylor Swift. I've had quite a lot of drive-by truckers on recently as well because I was meant to be going to see them. I was actually meant to be taking my dad, and I had these tickets for 2 years, and then didn't end up getting to go. But they released a new album, so I've been listening to that.
Okay. And as far as if you could be on stage with any artist in the world, living or no longer, who would that be?
Um, I think I'd be too scared to even meet Taylor Swift, let alone be on stage with her. My other songwriting hero is Adam Duritz from Counting Crows, but I think he'd probably just warble a song for 10 minutes and you wouldn't get a word in edgeways. Um, Probably someone like Springsteen, because obviously Paul McCartney got him and Dave Grohl on stage recently, and it's just epic, isn't it? And I think, it's always going to be a good show if he's on stage.
Yeah, definitely. I never got to see the boss play, but you get to watch the videos, and it definitely looks like a great show. So why not be on stage with somebody like him? So let's talk about food, and I'm always interested, for people that are not local. And so, what are some of the foods that are your favorite?
Mm, I'm pretty plain. I love pasta, to be honest. Everyone that is close to me in my life knows that if we're going anywhere with pasta, I'm gonna eat carbonara all day, every day. Um,
Okay.
I got really into Mexican food when I was in the States as well because I didn't realize how good it was. We just don't do Mexican food right over here. We don't really have many Mexican restaurants, and that's because we can't do it right. But the Mexican food in the States is amazing. That's pretty
Yeah,
much half of what I ate when I was there.
and that's interesting because I actually just did a interview. It hasn't been released yet, but with Brianna Dinsdale, she's from Australia and she was just over here, and that's the exact same thing she says. She's just like, I love the Mexican food. It's so great, and I love hearing that. Because I got a Mexican
So
heritage and
good.
I love Mexican food. So I will definitely second that with you. So if you're
So
not
good.
doing music, I know you're probably busy doing it all the time, but when you're not, what do you like to do in your free time?
I like traveling, to be honest. That's what I keep bringing up, so I think that's probably pretty evident. Even just in the UK, like we've got some beautiful places in the UK, and only over the last couple of years, I've actually really started to explore areas not near where I live in the UK. So I've always lived in Essex, which is south east of the UK, pretty much right down south. Um, and like I said, I've been to Scotland a lot recently and just traveling throughout the UK and seeing everything we do have. So traveling, just seeing new places and new people. Other than that, I've got music on the brain, to be honest. I like animals. I love talking about dogs. I've always wanted a dog and really want to get one soon. So maybe that'll be a part of my life soon. We'll see. I love walking. I love watching Netflix when I do get a chance. Yeah, and I do a lot of social media as well, even outside of my music. So I do a bit of music, social media for some small companies and bits, and I find digital marketing really interesting too.
Okay, definitely a lot of stuff that you have interested in. And I know coming up, you're going to be part of the Tennessee Fields Festival in Essex, correct?
Unfortunately, not anymore. It was meant to be
Oh,
this
no.
weekend. It's being cancelled. um, Unfortunately, in the UK, we do have a country scene here, an Americana scene, but it is quite niche still, and I think a lot of festivals are struggling on the whole, and
Mm.
it's just sadly not been able to go ahead. I know the founder of Tennessee Fields, Georgie, pretty well, and I'm devastated for her more than I am for me, because she worked really, really hard to put it on. I played it last year, and I know what a great festival it is. So hopefully it won't be the end of it forever, but yeah.
Yeah, that definitely is a shame, but yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of worldwide, with the way things are going, that sometimes that these things aren't working out like they did in the past. But should somebody come to a Roisin O'Hagan performance, what should they expect?
Well, hopefully soon they should expect that a lot of them would be band performances, because this was going to be my first band show. So I've been practicing with a band for it, whereas I've always played solo before now. So that would be really exciting to get some band shows on. I am organising a little tour with another Americana artist in the UK coming up soon as well. And it will be across the UK, different parts of the UK, not just England and London where I tend to gig. And yeah, and they can expect lots of new music as well. I've been writing and recording a lot of music, even beyond the stuff I've been releasing right now. So it's a really exciting time.
All right. And, maybe one of these days soon, I'll be able to get to see you perform. But Roisin, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Everybody out there, please check her out. She is very active on social media. You can find her on all the social medias. You could also find her on roisinohagan.com, which you all see below. And please check out her latest song, Wild and Free, as well as the other ones. And Roisin, thanks so much for coming on. And you're welcome to be a guest anytime here on Hank's Corner.
Thank you so much for inviting me.